YouTube, welcome back. Dub Digital, crypto news, macro trends. Give me a subscribe if you appreciate the content. I'm trying to bring you the hottest crypto content on the internet. Swipe, XSP, Swipe Army, assemble. One of my Swipe homies hit me up in the comments in my last video and asked me to do some research into this alleged pump and dump performed by Binance on XSP. I did some digging. I'ma show it to you in this video. Before we do that, let's hop over to the chart. Alright guys, we're on the XSP BTC pair. Is that Binance? Dang, this chart should be very familiar with a lot of you who follow my channel because I've just been kind of following this asset pretty much from July onwards. And it's been one heck of a ride. I gotta say, this thing has gone up a lot and down a lot. Let's just take a look on it so we can recap, and then we're gonna dive in some of that Binance news. But let's do it. Pretty much a little over a month, Swipe took off and performed a 600% upswing, guys. Dub Digital, you ain't gonna convince me of nothing, bro. I already hate Swipe. All my friends and I already hate Swipe. Actually, I just clicked on this video to leave comments about how much I hate Swipe. Hear me out, guys, hear me out. I'm gonna kind of frame this in a way that will maybe bring some of you guys back to earth. I understand a lot of you entered into this asset at different spots. The person who bought down here feels a lot different than the person who bought up here. Feels a lot different than the person who bought up here, right? Let's just count the ways. If you happen to buy XSP around this area here, you would still, to this day, be up about 65%. That's why entry is important. If you bought up here, your investment would be down 52%. That's why entries are important. If you bought it at the tippy top, that's almost 80% down, and that is exactly why entries are so important. Profits are not made on the up move. Profits are made on the entry price. And remember, guys, formula profit's easy. It's buy low, sell high. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it's always going to work. People are going to make it sound much more complicated than it is. This asset moves so much more than most investors are used to. You have to be able to stomach downswings when they occur, and in fact, they will occur. Let's just check out what happened this far. I'm just going to throw the fib retracement on this sucker so we can understand where we are in the process of bottoming out on this asset. Ta-da! We're obviously below the 78.6 Fibonacci level. That is considered oversold in my opinion in the uptrending market. You guys know that I'm a fan of the 61.8 Fibonacci level, so this thing has passed the golden pocket, fell straight through it, and falling lower. I think a lot of it is media driven because of this whole Binance dumping XSP thing. We're gonna get into that, but just hang with me, guys. Just hang with me for 1 second. We were following this trend line right. Obviously it fell off of that trend line, and then that means this trend line is no longer validated. We remove it. It is no longer a piece of the evidence. It's no longer a breadcrumb for us to follow. So this asset shot up about 600%, really big over the course of about 9 days. Dropped really hard, 51%, and that is a huge drop. That's a huge drop even for crypto in that short amount of time. Bounced for about, let's see, 9 days again, then dropped about 43%. These bounces are taking almost equal time to occur, which is pretty wild. Give or take a few days, right? One thing I want you to take away from this is I want you to understand how things fall, because again, the profit is made in the entry, not in the extreme run up. Sidekicks are better for that. Momentum trading is better for that. But in terms of investing, especially if you're not very skilled or practiced or had training in day trading, in momentum trading, buying low, selling high, it's a strategy that has withstood the test of time. My grandpa always says, guys, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Hey, not financial advice. Y'all do your own research. Y'all are a dose. 1, 2, 3. About 3 bottoms, and then it starts leveling out. Always watch the lows. And sometimes it helps to draw like bottom trend lines from low to low so you can help visualize in your mind's eye and understand what's happening with these low prices, because the lows tell you a lot. In fact, the lows tell me a lot more than the highs tell me, because it shows you where people in the market are buying these things at. People really believe. They believe it so much they're willing to put the hard earn money into this coin at X price. Guys, my ring light went out again. However, make sure to measure the drop. Sometimes you find out patterns. You find patterns in drops of percentages. You see like tapering percentage drops. So as you see, this thing's getting going. It's dropping hard. But at the bottoms, if you look at it and draw a line, you'll see that it's sloping downwards. The drop is lessening in severity and intensity, which means that buyers are coming in more frequent, more often to keep this thing from falling to the... That's cool, Dub Digital. What the heck? Like, what does that mean for me? My money's going down. I don't care about this. Have I ever lied to you? Have I ever been non-transparent in telling you that investing is a process that occurs over years? What goes down must come up. What comes up must come down. We just play off of those simple principles because that's pretty much gravity. Unless you guys can fly, I'm gonna keep believing in that rule. Not financial advice. And let's take a look at the volume to understand as a whole how the market's looking at this thing. Okay, volume's been dropping ever since July 2020, a lot of 20s, and it's still dropping. This is important, guys. Volume is is a precursor to price appreciation. If you see less volume coming in, one, the price could be moved with less money. Two, or it can also just bleed on out like it's been bleeding out. So what does that mean, James? How far can we go down if we keep going down? Maybe another 20%. We have a little misunderstanding between the buyers and sellers right here. So we'll probably catch a pump if it keeps dropping down. But right now, guys, if this thing does not support this trend line and we're like sitting right on this trend line, we can keep going down. You make the calls, but right here, the support line that it's sitting on is 10,215 Satoshis. Where we should experience a bounce if we do drop down farther is about 8,813 Satoshis. And the very bottom here is approximately 6,709 Satoshis. So do with that what you will. All I'm saying is we might have, give or take, 40% in price appreciation or depreciation. This right here is going to turn around. I think we are going to revisit these highs. But Dub Digital, didn't you know? Swipe's dead? Don't you know? Binance killed it? Don't you know? I'm glad you asked that question. I just did some research on that. Whether or not a pump and dump was planned and occurred, I've seen evidence of that. But also, I'm going to say I don't have conclusive evidence of that. I'm going to present to you what I found. The determination, my friends, are up to you. All right, guys, I just want to go over this article. It's dated January 29th, 2019. Dub Digital, it's 2020, bro. Why are you showing me a 2019 article? Because, guys, we got to put it together ourselves. We got to look at all the evidence, all the pieces, and come to a determination to see if is Swipe trash or not. Let's check it out. Payment startup Swipe raises $100 million at a $22 billion valuation. That's a lot of seed money, guys. 22 billion valuation. I'll take a 1 billion. I'll take a 1 million. I don't even know. Let's get into it. Stripe has raised an additional 100 million from Tiger Global, less than 4 months after raising 245 million from the same firm. For information, September funding round increased the company's valuation of 9 billion to 20 billion. And this is the main reason I'm reading this article, guys. Stripe is part of a class of developer-first companies such as Shopify, Twilio, and SendGrind that made it easy for any company to participate in online commerce and marketing. The company is part of the legendary Y Combinator accelerator, which has also produced Silicon Valley giants Airbnb, Dropbox, Coinbase, Cruise, and Instacart. Okay, guys, I read you this because big money doesn't put like 100 million bucks into a scam. In order to better understand if a project is viable, you need to know who's involved. You need to know what kind of money we're talking about, because that gives you some indication of what sophisticated investors thought of this when they were pitched it. And it's very important to understand they got 100 million more dollars, and that same month they got 245 million, and they're part of an accelerator program that's brought to you, and they're part of an accelerator program that brought you Airdrop, Dropbox, Coinbase, Instacart. Guys, these are legendary names. So there's obviously someone in Silicon Valley that's betting on Swipe. Telling you this because companies that have big money behind them have like a lot of liquidity. If you have a lot of liquidity, you got staying power. You have the ability to overcome challenges when presented to you. It looks like these guys have deep pockets, or at least they know some VCs that got deep pockets. July 2nd, 2020. Binance confirms partnership with Swipe for debit card launch. CZ, there he is. All right, guys, so this article, just to let you know, is a little confusing. There's no real yes or no answer. We got to put it together, but let's understand and read it into it a little bit. Binance has confirmed a partnership with Swipe for its debit card launch in a now deleted webpage. The blog reported earlier this week that Binance is launching its card with Swipe. The cached version of the webpage says Binance card will enable real-time conversion of crypto to fiat currency to use at merchants globally. I think this is what we're all talking about, all the controversies about, but like, why would Binance do that when they're partnering with Swipe? Swipe is a crypto to fiat debit card, and now CZ's coming out with a crypto debit card. What? The blog also reported at the time that Binance has acquired a majority stake in Swipe, which the exchange declined to confirm at the time. Even today, a Binance spokesperson declined to comment when reached. Binance's plans for the branded card have been in the works since March. At the time, the exchange said Binance card does everything a regular payment card does, plus much more. It remains to be seen whether Binance will still list XSP, given that Binance will become a majority shareholder of Swipe. Okay, guys, so this is a little sketchy, but not sketchy on the XSP side of the house. It looks like XSP entered a partnership thing. They were going to be a provider of this debit card for Binance. But if you guys could find more articles on this one, it'd be interesting to see what happened, because, and I think they're launching it in tandem with Swipe. However, the card doesn't use XSP. It uses BNB, which totally undermines the utility of the Swipe team's coin, which is interesting. So Dub Digital, what does that mean? Does that mean that this is going to go to zero or negative, or or a million negative? Guys, honestly, I don't think so. What I do think is happening and why it crashed to 75% is because that news got leaked out to everybody and everyone just jumped the gun, thought XSP was a scam. If you go on Swipe's Twitter, you're gonna see all these hate comments. You're gonna see everyone all mad, rage quitting, selling. Okay, that's their prerogative, not financial advice. The cheaper and lower Swipe goes, the more Bitcoin you can get. The more Bitcoin you can get on purchases you have to make in regular day life. So I keep thinking about the utility. I keep thinking that Swipe isn't changing as a business model. Swipe's still around. Binance owns Swipe to enter the US market through a partnership. This article gives us a little more insight. Binance owns Swipe to enter the US market through a partnership. Digital asset commerce for Swipe and Binance Card could soon enter the US market. Swipe has partnered with Evolve Bank and Trust to enable USD checking accounts on the platform. A spokesperson reportedly said that everything Swipe offers becomes available on Binance Card. So again, we have two crypto cards. Not sure why Binance acquired Swipe unless they wanted to use Swipe as a medium to make their own crypto card. I don't think it's exactly what people wanted or expected from this partnership. However, lower the price of Swipe, more Bitcoin you get. Remember about the utility. Dub Digital. This is horrible news, man. The problem is this, guys. I don't even know if Swipe thought the partnership was going to turn into this, because like, wouldn't it make sense for Binance to buy Swipe and then just utilize Swipe? Binance sees these, always looking out for number one, and they want to make sure that there's a lockup of BNB. So people will always stake BNB for the Bitcoin reward. Pretty misleading, I gotta be honest. But again, this opinion was pretty much made off of like 6 articles, right? So if you guys have anything that you could shoot over to me, I'll keep digging, but this is what I could find so far. However, on the bright side, on the flip side, Swipe's still around, still has a huge valuation, still has a lot of people who actually have XSP, and they're still gonna come back with those BTC rewards. In fact, everyone thinks Swipe's done except for Swipe. Swipe September 2020 updates, XSP listings, Swipe governance, on-demand gift cards, got Swipe campaign, coin listing, Swipe network staking, Swipe issuing, waived fees, Venus white paper, Swipe partners with Marqeta to launch LendFi. XSP was listed on the Solana DEX, also Upbit. They also just enabled their governance token for people to practice governance, which means that they plan to be around to be governed. You can use XSP to pay at Travala.com. There's on-demand gift cards now that you could purchase within the app that give you like up to 10% cash back. They're giving away Swipe just for showing pictures and videos of you using Swipe. And they also just allowed you to spend a whole bunch more of cryptos in the Swipe app. Serum, Solana, Polkadot, Aave, Algorand, Amisego, MakerDAO, Yearn, Hashgraph, Paxgo, NEM, IOTA, Uniswap, Avalanche. Yes, sometimes in business, things happen. Partnerships fall apart. Plans degrade. That's business. But I'm not gonna sit here and blame Swipe. As far as I can tell, Swipe's still going strong. There might be furthermore to fall. But after the storm, guys, there is light. There's real utility in this. I don't see why people wouldn't want free money. Alright guys, that was a quick one, but I want to respond to that request to do some digging on this topic regarding Binance and XSP, and if it has anything to do with the price drop. Moral of the story is, yes, I do think it has something to do with the price drop. However, I don't think it's because Swipe is like a worthless coin. I think it's because the news got out. There's a bunch of people showing a lot of hate on Swipe, and whenever you see a majority doing something, everyone getting pissed off. Be skeptical. Do your research. Make sure it is how they explain to you, because a lot of the time, this overpowers this. They start talking and you take it as fact. XSP is still the debit card that you were sold on. It's still the company that had a huge valuation that was part of a very famous accelerator from Silicon Valley. Remember these fundamentals, guys, but that's not financial advice, y'all. Y'all are adults. If you appreciate the content, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Dub Digital, crypto news, macro trends. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.